just call them. Like, just call them and text them, like whoever you want, whoever that you love right now, like you haven't talked to them. Like, stop thinking. Don't worry about whether you'll burden them or whatever. Just call them. If you're on the other end, if you're the one feeling depressed or whatever, and you feel like reaching out, don't stop thinking. Okay? I know you're thinking a lot right now. Just stop thinking and just call them. You don't even have to say anything. Just call them, and like even if you are silent, that friend of yours, that loved one of yours will know, like, oh shit, like they're going through something. Just do it. So in light of what has been happening with things in the world and that Liam Payne thing, right? I just wanted to say, like, to anyone going through depressed moments, depressed feelings, emotions, just call them. Like, you have so many people that love you. Just call them. And for the people who don't have depression and you know someone with depression or whatever, just call them as well. Even if there's nothing to talk about, just the fact that they know that you're there, like, it really helps a lot. Like, it really helps a lot. I think it's worth talking about because not long ago I was watching Diary of a CEO. It's a podcast about this CEO, and he brings on a lot of interesting guests, and I really, really love his podcast. And Liam was on that podcast, and he was talking about like how there were so many moments where he was in the darkest depths of his own hell in his brain, where no one, like genuinely no one would have known that he was feeling like that, because the face doesn't show, right? Someone can feel depressed in their hearts because you never know what someone is feeling in their hearts, but it can show like they're happy, right? And as someone who's been there, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but I would say 60% sick right now. I'm having a flu, I'm having migraines, but I don't think it shows on camera. But that's how I'm feeling right now. But I decided to just record this video because it's a topic that means a lot to me, in a sense that one thing I wish people would understand is that when people have this depression or this depressing feeling of like wanting to take their life away, sometimes it is planned, right? Like they have like planned on how they want to do it. But I think a lot of people, including myself, when I was in that phase of life, when we're going through that feeling, we imagine that thing happening, but we don't want to do it. And if the day comes that happens, like Liam Payne, it's not always a thing that we planned on doing, but it just happens during that time. And it's in that one single moment where it's like it happens or it doesn't happen. It jumps or it doesn't jump. I've heard this on a radio show from Dr. John Deloney, where he says his father used to be a rescuer, like of like all these suicide hotline calls, right? And every single time the father goes up to the top floor where the person was about to jump off, 90% of the time he knows whether this person is going to jump off or not. But the thing that he's scared of is that in these situations, it's not about whether the person wants to jump or not, because usually it's just 10% that wants to actually jump. The other 90% usually don't want to jump, right? And the main difference is the rescuer, Dr. John's dad, is more afraid that this person will fall. And that's a 50-50% chance. And that to me describes the whole situation with depression about people's feelings, is that 90% of us who go through these feelings, I feel like everyone goes through these feelings, but at different levels, right? For someone like Liam or me who went through like darker thoughts, I feel like we have had those thoughts, but there is that 50-50% chance of like, you never know if that person is going to fall, or you never know that you're going to fall. That's why I always tell people, including myself, when I'm feeling like sad or whatever, just call that person. Like, even if it's going to be awkward, like me calling someone who doesn't really know my problems, because sometimes, I don't know, there's this like, sometimes I just don't want to burden my parents. Like, I feel bad like for them to know that I feel this way. So instead I call like, not a stranger, but like a friend that sort of knows how I'm feeling but doesn't know me too well, and it's more comfortable to share to them because they won't judge me. Just know that when you call, no one's gonna put you down. You know, like, it is what it is. Like, you're feeling however you're feeling, even if you don't say anything, like, it's okay. Maybe the next part of this is I want to share to the people who you know have depression in their life, or like, you know, they're like sad or whatever, like depressed moments. And look, everyone goes through a tough time in life, right? God didn't put us in this world to just live life happily, right? The beautiful thing about humans is that we go through so much shit, but we can recover from it. Yeah, Allah does not burden a soul more than it can bear. But sometimes we cannot bear the weight alone. And we have other human beings to help us carry this bag full of rocks that we can't carry ourselves. And I would say, if you don't know what to say to your friend, don't worry. You don't even have to say anything. Just be there for them. Just listen to them. Then that's good enough. Because it's a fine line, right? The reality with depression is that you can also help as many people as you want, you know? And every one of my friends who go through anxiety, a lot of depression, that kind of thing, we are the kind of people where like we know how it feels. So when someone else is going through that feeling, we will help them. Like just a few days ago, like I was feeling a little bit down and I needed to go out for a walk. And I know someone who's my neighbor who goes through the same feelings as me. And then she's like, cool, let's take a walk. Like, because she understands how that feels, and she understands like you just need to walk and get things out of your head. And that's perfect. Like that's all you need to do. For people who don't understand like how to help people with depression, just do that. Like whenever they feel depressed or whatever, like let's go out, let's walk. Or do you need to talk? Like, what do you need now? Just ask them that, and that's perfectly fine. That's all you need to do. But the other side comes to us, right? The people who feel these feelings. No matter how much someone helps you, or no matter how much you get to go out and talk with someone in your life and you feel better, at the end of the day, that's someone helping you to pull yourself out from the water to the shore. But it's up to you now that you're like drenched, cold, wet. It's up to you right now to actually get up, shower, take a change of clothes, and actually do something about your life so that you'll never drown again. That's the hard reality, right? Because life is all about balance. You need a yin to your yang. What I've learned is you are not your thoughts. You are what you think. So there's a difference between having thoughts of something and thinking about something. Thoughts come and go. Thoughts in your head it's like just clouds passing by. Sometimes you like have a thought of like, I don't know if people actually get this, but like you get a random thought like, if I took the lift and the lift just dropped. And then I'm sure everyone has this feeling, right? Like if the lift drops and then if you just jump at the right time and then it hits and then you don't fall as well. Like everyone has like a random thought like that. And even I myself, like not in a bad way, right? Sometimes I just have a thought of like, oh, what if I'm dead? It's not that I want to kill myself. It's like I just have that thought of like, oh, what if I'm dead? And then the thinking starts with like, oh man, I think I would be so happy to like finally, I don't know, see my religion, see Allah, inshallah. And but obviously in the reality, that's not what's gonna happen. I'm not just gonna straight away meet my God like that, right? And that's okay. Like whatever thoughts that you have in your head, like it's okay. The main difference is what do you do with those thoughts, right? The reality is you are not your thoughts. You are the action of your thoughts. You are the behavior of your thoughts. Whatever that you put out in the world, that's what you truly are. That's your reality. All right? Because even whatever that you say, right? Whatever that you say is not who you are. It's your behavior, right? Like whatever that I'm telling you guys right now, it's like, it is what it is. Like I can tell you things to get you out of your depression. I can tell you things to help people with depression. That doesn't mean I'm a savior for someone. That doesn't mean I'm a good person. It would mean I'm a good person if I actually do it. If I actually see someone who's going through a tough time and I actually call them, then that's where it actually like translates to me actually putting the person, whatever that I'm saying right now is not who I am. When I put my behavior into action with the words that I say, then that's who I truly am. And I have one beautiful friend, I'm not going to say her name, but she was going through some stuff with like her church and how she's like feeling like this church isn't the best for her, and there's a lot of the people were like judging other people despite being very strong in like their Christianity, and she's having like bad thoughts and stuff, and she was feeling bad and everything. And I told her like, look, you're not your thoughts. The religion isn't bad. Maybe the people around there are not mature enough. Maybe they're not emotionally mature enough. Because it's one thing to learn, right? It's one thing to learn about anything from videos, books. But when the day comes, you actually like have to apply it in real life. That's a whole different game, man. And I've been reading this book, Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. And I'm on this chapter where it says, your life is determined by the choice of words you have in your head. This concept has been said probably more than 50 times on my podcast, on my videos. I've probably said it to so many people. Andrew Tate has said it so many times. Everyone has said it in their own shape, way or shape or form. But basically, it starts with like the thing that I learned from Andrew Tate is that you don't have to go to work. You get to go to work. You don't have to pick up your kids. You get to pick up your kids. You don't have to fix your car that's broken. You get to fix the car that's broken, because what if you don't have a car? It's all within the choice of words that you have in your head. And he brought a very interesting point where in this book, Tony Robbins said there was this one time in his business where everything was about to go down, right? He has 3 people in his business. He has him, the CEO, and another manager of some sorts. And their business was about to go down, about to go bankrupt. Someone betrayed them, all right? This is a big deal, all right? Imagine you already built yourself up to be the best version of yourself. You're a millionaire, yeah? And then now someone betrays you and all your money is about to be gone. Everything in your life is about to get crumbled, right? Tony Robbins got angry, frustrated. One of his CEO was feeling extremely rageful. He was finding out ways to solve the problem. Vengeful. All these crazy, strong, emotional thoughts. And then the final person was sort of like smiling. He was sort of smiling, and Tony Robbins looked at him like, why are you smiling? And he was like, dude, I can't believe we're here at $1 million and someone betrayed us. Like, I feel so, like, I'm about to be so peeved. of all the words he used peeved. Even me hearing it makes me laugh a little bit, because like everyone would be like, I'm so fucking angry right now. I'm so pissed. And all these words are like trigger in your head, right? But this guy decided to use the word peeved as angry. But the word in itself is so funny that like instead you just feel like you're gonna laugh. You're still angry, but like you don't feel as down, but you're still gonna do the next best thing, right? So this is where I said in Ali Abdaal's book, Feel Good Productivity, where he says, don't do things seriously, but do them sincerely. That made such a huge difference in my life, because when you do things seriously and sincerely, both are the same outcome. You end up working as hard as possible, but one, with the word serious, your face gets serious, you get scrunched up, get a little bit angry, your mood goes down a little bit, but sincerely can be happy, sad, funny, anything you want, are going to put the same amount of effort with the word serious. I think I want to end off the video with that. It's like, get the choice of words in your head. People that you love are more than willing. They're so willing to be there for you. Every single one of my friends, if any of you right now, like to my friends listening, if any of you are going through a hard time or whatever, and you just want me to be there, like through a call, just call me. If you don't want to call, text me. Like literally just use me as a therapist if you want for a few minutes, that's fine. And that goes the same with everyone who's depressed. It's like, give it a timeline. If you need 6 months, then we'll give you 6 months, right? Once you know you've tried your best, and if it still happened to what Liam Payne, if the situation happens like what happens to Liam Payne, then don't blame yourself, because you tried your best. And then to the other side of the people who's going through depression or whatever it is, anxiety, overthinking, you're worth it. Like, you're worth working on yourself. Stop looking at others to save you or whatever. Like, you can rely on their help, but you are worth saving yourself no matter what you are. I don't care how much childhood problems you have. I don't care what traumas. I don't care how bad your life was. Now the question is, what do you want to do now? You're worth saving yourself. And as someone who's went through the deep depths of wanting to do those things, I'll never go back there. I can feel that feeling again, but I'll never allow myself to get back there. So from one depressed friend to the other, you guys are worth it. I'm worth it. Let's fucking go. Let's go to the fucking gym. I can't go to the gym right now because I'm sick and I know I need to rest. So, all right. Take care, everyone.